I don't know why you still listen to me. Makes no sense. You should probably just unsubscribe and completely delete your entire YouTube account. Hi, welcome to the Rants. You can find me on Instagram at ASM_Caber. Please follow my field in Roseville, California. It is on you just do a search for Airsoft Ministry, all one word. Please also check out CQB City, Yucas, YUKAUS, the Field and Galt, and West Coast Adventure Park, and US Airsoft in Reading. I feel like that's Reading. Anderson. Way up in the north. Give all those fields a follow. Please support your local Northern California Airsoft community by supporting all those fields, following them on all their social medias, and encouraging them to stay and be active and stuff. Coming up. Again, today is the 13th of March. On the 24th of March, we have the birthday. My field is doing their 9th birthday. I'm going to be there, obviously. Look, it's going to be really big. We got more details. It's free play. We're giving away all kinds of stuff. We're giving away, like, these things. I'm going to raffle off. Where'd that rifle go? It's in the box. I don't feel like getting it. Look, a bunch. It's free. It's free. You're going to get free stuff. You can play for free. You can get some sweet footage for the views and the gram, bro. Just show up. What else are you going to do? Just show up after service. The 30th of March is going to be an open field. Open field / team deathmatch tournament practice, which means we cut our field, the whole field, we cut it in half. Near side is just set up specifically for team deathmatch runs, so like scrimmages, basically 3-on-3, 5-on-5, 1-on-1. I don't care. It's set up for anyone that wants to get ready for the tournament coming up in summertime, sometime in June. And then the far side gets to be whatever casual play you want to do. After that, I'm looking at my notes. 13th of April will be Milsim Day. If you want to come to Milsim Day, you need to make sure you are reading our Milsim uniform regulations, or I'm kicking you off the field. You don't follow the rules, you ain't gonna play. You show up with BDUs in white Nike sneakers, you're out skis. You're out of the picture. The 15th and 16th of April, I'm going to be doing another Airsoft Fight Camp. 2 days. Count them. 1, 2 days of Airsoft Fight Camp, which means the 15th, is that right? 15th will be geared towards players with about a year and a half or less of experience, newer players. And then the second day will be geared more towards like a year and a half or more, basically. So I wanted to split it up into like a 2-day format, so I've got a curriculum for newer players and then a curriculum for more advanced players. I had to put I quantified a time standard on there, because if I just say new players, well, then no new airsofter is going to confront their own ego enough to go, oh, I'm not new, I've played like 4 times. Dude, you're new. That makes sense? Oh, my phone fell asleep. That has my notes on it. Bleep, 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 bleep. Also, looking ahead, 18th of May, CQB City in Stockton, please follow them, is doing a 3-on-3 speed tournament. I believe, I am under the impression, I have the opinion, I could be wrong, but I believe that's going to be a Speed South-based tournament. I think. Don't hold me to that. I'm probably wrong. But they're calling it a speed tournament. Like, I'll show you. Speed tourney. See? Look. Speed tourney. So that's what they're doing. So, let's get into the rant for today, shall we? Let's talk about... You awake? You awake? What was I talking about? What was I doing? Where am I? What happened? What? Where's the squirrel? Bang kills. Bang kills, or... What are the terms people... Bang kill, I think, is the most common term. non-verbal kill, safety kill. What's the other one that I think that's it. Bang, safety, non-verbal. Checking my notes. Remember, these are rants, so I don't edit. Surrender, that's the other one. The surrender rule. Basically, if I'm on a field with a minimum engagement distance, which we'll talk about, we're also going to talk about minimum engagement distances and spawn points. So the rants for today are bang kills, minimum engagement distances, and spawn points. The bang kill. So let's say you're at a field with a minimum engagement distance, or not, as the case may be. But let's say you're at a field with a 5 to 10 foot minimum engagement distance. If I am within that certain distance, I cannot shoot a player, physically shoot a player, because the theory is it's just too close. It'll incur too much, not serious bodily harm, but a bit more. It'd be a bit much. That's basically like, dude, that's too close to shoot a child. Well, according to waivers, I like the rule. I like the rule if it's optional. How about that? I like an optional bang kill rule. Here's what usually happens. Here's from what I see that a lot of like these viral videos, kids mag dumping and shooting refs and all this. Here's what usually, we're speaking in terms of generalities. We're being fairly ambiguous. Here's what usually happens. Let's say I'm in a field with let's say a 5 foot minimum engagement distance, right? Meaning I have to be with 5 feet or farther away from a player in order to shoot them. Meaning if I am 4.99 feet away, I cannot shoot a player. I get the bang kill, I go, hey, I got you, and they go, oh, Chuckles, you sure did, GG. That usually doesn't happen. We're going off on a rant now. I understand. Let me preface it with this. The purpose of the minimum engagement distance is because, remember, most of my rants, if not all of them, I have brought up that new and casual players, young players, basically new and casual, are the bread and butter, the foundational clientele or the foundational market for fields. Fields need new players to keep coming back and giving them their money so they can put on tournaments, so they can afford to get Airsoft Masterpiece slides, so they can, you need that basis, you need that base layer customer before you can appeal to the niche or the higher level player. I'm willing to bet most of the higher level players are the ones that are usually listening to me, because casual players probably don't care. They're like, what? There's a bald guy with a beard yelling about Airsoft. Care about him? Anyway, so in order to further appeal to that newer player base, we have to appeal to them, meaning we need to be less intrusive, less invasive, nicer, for lack of a better term. But if a new player shows up and he just has a bunch of kids that just run up in his face, shoot him in the chest from point blank, that new player is probably not going to come back. It didn't necessarily have anything to do with the field. He didn't like the sport. Does that make sense? It's not really the field. He's like, oh, the field was fine. Everyone was real nice, but it was scary. Whatever, right? His higher, can I say higher level player without sounding like a dork? I don't know. For those of us that just don't have that fear or that concern, we don't care. We're cool with shooting our friends in the face while we're in front of their face. I like shooting people this close. But newer players probably don't like that. So we established that rule so we don't scare them away. That's really what it is. That's what it's, the minimum engagement, unless there is an insurance mandate. That's the other half of it. So I feel like half that argument is, why do you guys have a minimum engagement distance? 50% of that is due to our insurance said that's what we have to do. So the other half is, because we want people to come back because we have to cater to more than you and your 4 random friends. Both completely valid from a business perspective. For the sake of opening a facility and maintaining that facility, it makes perfect sense. Remember, things that make business sense, a player is not necessarily going to like. Because a player just wants to play and have fun. Players can't really own fields. Business people need to own fields. Does that make sense? That should make sense. So there's that. Spawn points. I've been to fields where, like my field, I'm going to bring my field up a lot because it's super cool. My field, we have 2 spawn points. Green and yellow. Or orange, depending on if you're colorblind or not. Green and orange, near side and far side. The orange is the near side. Catty cord on the opposite end is the green or the far side. They're clearly marked. They are clearly marked. Granted, there is at Ministry, there's this discrepancy of, is it because we have striped barriers up front, and behind that we have a solid color. Now the solid color is what you actually have to touch. Well, sometimes guys forget that, or they see other players not doing that, or they show up at 1 or 2 o'clock, or they show up after the safety briefing. They get a crash course briefing from the staff member, if one at all, if we're being honest. And then they touch the striped bunker, and they're like, oh, he shot me. Like, well, yeah, you done messed up. If that makes sense. But I've also been to fields where they're like, hey, where's the spawn point? Oh, it's that wall over there. What? The what? Where's respawn at? It's over there. What does over there mean? Like, it's that corner. That's ambiguous. That's not... Rules aren't supposed to be ambiguous. I feel like we went over this. Maybe we didn't go over this. You know what? We didn't go over this. I messed up. So we'll go over rule specificity. But I personally like designated, easily understandable, clearly designated spawn points. If we watch a lot of these videos where kids are getting mag dumped and this, that, and the other thing, or just discrepancies, a lot of discrepancy videos. A lot of them are from minimum engagement distance discrepancies and respawn location discrepancies. I personally, personal opinion, I don't like the minimum engagement distance rule because from an officiating standpoint, as a ref, keep in mind as a ref, I need to be able to articulate and enforce every rule on it's a part of my field. I feel, keep in mind, I obsess. Anyone that knows me knows that I obsess over this. If we say, hey, here at Airsoft Ministry, you have a 5-foot minimum engagement distance. I, as a ref, do not have a realistic way to enforce that because we just gave 5 feet. We gave an exact measurement, a quantified standard of 5 feet. What if a player is 5.5 feet? What if a player is 5 feet 1 inches? I have no discernible way to be able to tell the difference between 4 feet and 3/4 inches to 5 feet and 1 inch. Does that make sense? That's a personal opinion based on someone who obsesses over the English language, particularly when it comes to rules, because again, remember, my background is law enforcement, so I need to be able to understand and enforce and articulate every rule and law and policy and stuff. Look, in the Army, they told you what color socks you could and could not wear. They told you exactly how your hair was supposed to be. And if they didn't give you an exact quantifiable standard, then they left it up to commander's discretion. Then they left it up to the commander's discretion. I see what you did there, Army. I see what you did there. So, again, as a ref, it is very hard to enforce, I feel. It would be... Keep in mind, I've never had to enforce this. This is a theory I have. There's a theory. It's a belief. My laptop's asleep. We're awake. That's why. Because I would have no way as a ref to go, nope, illegal. You are 5.1 away, so you're good. Oh, that's illegal. You're 4.99 away. Now, granted, most people, they don't want people shooting at point blank. Well, that's fine. Then just say, like, arms. If you can prove it, that'd be fine. So, like, minimum engagements. If you can touch them, you shouldn't shoot them. I feel like that would be a little bit easier. But also, again, insurance, and that's still, you know, scaring people away. So there's that. But I understand its concept. Bang kills, I love bang kills. I find, here's my favorite way to get hits on the field. Bang kills is one of them. Definitely one of them. Just walking up, because remember, in order to get a bang kill, you really have to outflank and outmaneuver these people, or these players. So if I can take someone's back and go, hey, you're out, homie. If I could do that like 4 or 5 times in a day, oh, that's going on the gram. It's going to be great. Sometimes I'm able to do it, sometimes I'm not. It's my favorite way. Or if I'm just close enough where I could touch him, I'll take a step back and I'll shoot him right in the keister. Oh, that's even more fun. Shot a kid in the butt cheek and he bucked like a horse and he dipped and he went, Wah! Oh, it's hilarious. Those are my 2 favorite ways to get hits on the field is bang kills if I take their back, or to shoot them in the butt, because I think it's so funny to do. Look, other guys, you can take the back and shoot them in the back of the head, or if it's per field rules, who cares? But I understand the concept of these rules. I think that's like if you watch or spawn points. Hey, you can't shoot us in here at spawn point. It's not the spawn point. Yes, it is. Okay, well, what makes you say that? This line here. The line does not denote it's a spawn point. That line denotes it's a spawn point. You still haven't actually respawned yet. Right? Isn't that like 2/3 of the videos that we see with all these little ragey adults that are like, I need to feel relevant. I need power and control because I don't have it in my real life. Right? That's gonna be a video too. So, bang kills, surrender kills, non-verbal or verbal kills, non-physical kills, whatever. Great idea. Great concept. I encourage them. I like optional. Optional is nice. When things are optional, I feel like they're a little bit easier to deal with because then you don't get the argument. But if there's like an MED thing and then there's a bang kill, but bang kills are mandatory if you're inside of this field. Ugh, chaos, because it's so hard to enforce because you don't have, unless you walk around with like a laser guided, like a laser, like a rangefinder, or you just walk around with like 5 feet sticks just all over the place, just poking out like Pinhead. Unless you have an exact way to measure and quantify and enforce that rule, you're kind of opening yourself up for issues. Theoretically, there could be plenty of fields that just don't have this problem. I'm sure there are, and God love those fields. But from what I hear, from what I see in videos, not always. I don't think I have experienced that personally. When I played Attack, it was Full Force Friday. So when I was Attack City, that wasn't a problem. And they did single elimination games, so I didn't have to deal with like a respawn. Actually, a couple of them had to be like, did you respawn? Like, yeah, of course I respawned. I just touched the wall. Like, no, it's single elimination. Like, oh, very good. Very cool. Okay, I screwed up. Very much I screwed up. To the dead box I go. So there's no issue there. I played at N1. N1, we didn't have that problem because they don't have... There's N1 is so close you can't really have a minimum engagement distance unless it's like a foot, and I didn't have that problem. And again, single elimination, so that's what threw me off. Also, SoCal does single elimination. We NorCal, they don't. We do respawns, like, almost constantly. CQB City, I've never had that problem with. Oregon, I didn't have that problem with. There's a couple other fields I've been to. I can't think of the names, but I haven't had a problem with it. I haven't. I'm sure at some point it's gonna happen. But keep doing your thing. Keep putting out good content. Keep being great, honorable players. Take your vitamins, say your prayers, stay in school. Love you guys. Follow me on ASM Caber for Instagram. Check out all of the Northern California fields, Airsoft Ministry, CQB City, Yucca's, West Coast Adventure Park, and US Airsoft. No one cares about GamePod.